Welcome to the JayGravesReport, College Football Weekly Preview, Week 5. Y'all know how we get it in, so let's get it in. Previewing the top 5 ball games of the weekend. Now this week, we got better ball games. Last week we was done. Everybody was still playing non-conference games. Now boys are getting into the conference. And we got a couple of rivalry games this weekend. So let's get it in. Number 23, Wisconsin, goes to number 4. Ohio State, and plays in the horseshoe. Now remember last week, Ohio State had Doug FAMU come in, paid them $900,000 to beat the brakes off of them. Now this weekend, they got a ball game in front of them. Matter of fact, Ohio State 4-0, but they ain't played nobody, bruh. They played Doug Buffalo, Doug San Diego State, Cal, and FAMU. Now, they got to show up and play. Now, I will say this. Ohio State hasn't played anybody, but they have been impressive. And the most impressive kid out there has been Kenny Guyton. Came in for Braxton Miller. He scored through 6 touchdowns in the first half. Now, I know it was against FAMU, but to be able to throw 6 touchdowns in one half is impressive. But I will say, Urban Meyer says this week that Braxton Miller, if healthy, will play. So, you got the defending Big Ten champs coming in, the Wisconsin Badgers, after coming off a dull loss a couple of weeks ago when they got screwed at Arizona State. But it ain't going to help you at all, bro. You playing in the horseshoe. I got to take Ohio State in this ball game because the dull Wisconsin Badgers can't go into the horseshoe and get a win. Not this weekend. Let's move on to the next ball game. Number 21, Ole Miss goes to Tuscaloosa, plays the number 1 team in the country, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, Alabama haven't been too impressive the last couple of weeks. I'm going to say this. They was dull last week. Showed up, played dull Colorado State, 17-6 going into the fourth quarter. Come on now. Well, these boys must have been out there eating some of that Dreamland barbecue and wasn't paying attention to what was going on. You got to play some ball if you're going to try to get out here and play this big time, win 3 national championships in a row. Now, I will say this. Alabama is 9-0 against Mississippi the last 9 times. So I don't see Mississippi coming in here getting the win at all. They 3-0, but it's an illusion. Because they play Vanderbilt, Southeast Missouri State, and no tackling Texas. I don't know what Mac Brown gonna do down there in Texas. It's so bad that old Doug Debo ain't even wearing horns no more. I saw Bebo at the mall the other day. This guy had on slippers and no horns. Come on, bro. Let's move on to the next ball game. I got Alabama in this one. Now, number 8, Florida State, shows up in Boston and plays Boston College. Now, I think they need to go ahead and get Paul Revere, call him up. 1 if by land, 2 if by air, because Famous Jameis is showing up this weekend. This Dunn has more than 718 yards and 8 touchdowns in 3 ball games. And Florida State is the 3rd-ranked team in the country in terms of yards per carry. They averaging 7.2 yards a carry, bruh. Nothing they can do about them. They killing them in the air and on the ground. So I got Florida State to win this ball game big at Boston College. Let's move on to the next ball game. Number 14, Oklahoma, goes to number 22, Notre Dame. Plays them in South Bend at Notre Dame Stadium with Touchdown Jesus watching the joint. I'll be in the building, so don't even trip. If you see some cat in a bow tie run out on the 50-yard line and steal the ball, you know it's your boy. Now, look here. Both these teams got suspect quarterbacks. Beldo's at Oklahoma can't throw the ball over his shoulder. We got, the Sooners got great running game, but Beldo's can't throw it over his shoulder. Last weekend, Notre Dame got out of there 17-13 win over Michigan State. All 17 points they scored was off of mistakes from Michigan State. Who do I go with in this ball game? I can't go with my heart because I got to be an objective observer. At the crib, I got to go with Notre Dame. As much as it pains me to say, I got to go with Notre Dame in this one. But I'll be rooting for the Boomer Sooner right there. Look out for your boy. I will be hollering and tweeting from the ball game. Let's move on to the next ball game. number 6. LSU goes to number 9. And Georgia, and plays between the hedges, plays at Sanford Stadium, plays against Doug, Mark, Rick, and the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, I got to give Georgia some props. Out of the last 4 ball games, they played 3 top 10 teams in 4 weeks. They played then number 8 Clemson. Doug got beat. Then they played then number 6 South Carolina, won that ball game, and now they playing number 6 LSU. Big props. These brothers, they playing big time ball game, but I gotta say it like I always say. Georgia is Mark Rich Georgia. Can they beat LSU? Well, LSU is coming out. They the real deal right now. They got a balanced offense. Oh, Doug Zach Mettenberger, who couldn't throw the ball over his shoulder just last year, all of a sudden comes into this ball game in 3 ball games, or in 4 ball games, he has more than 1,026 yards and 10 touchdowns. And then you got Jeremy Hill on the ground with more than 350 yards. These boys got a balanced offense. And you got Big Hand Odell Beckham out there catching everything they throw to him. I'm still trying to figure out how in the world does a done 19, 20 years old have a name like Odell? That's like running into an old lady at church with patent leather shoes, patent leather purse, giving out peppermint named Shaquana. Hey, go to the joint, check your boy out. It's your man Jay Graves Report from the JayGravesReport.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter at JayGravesReport and holla at your boy.